You all know what a jigsaw puzzle is. If you don't know, God help you. God help you. The common things to a jigsaw puzzle are it has a fixed dimension. It has corners, edges, and a base. Put them together and this is what you get. If you talk about a jigsaw puzzle in that sense to Toastmasters, you don't get that. What you do get is this. Jigsaw puzzle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get the gist of it. All with the same identical cuts, but different images. And you put this thing together. And that's what you get. You get this incredible combination of things. Now I quote soon-to-be newly married man Ross Messick. When this club was charted, we were white Americans, and I think there was gender balance. What we have today is a club with members of many colors and many backgrounds. We may very well have more diversity than the Diversity Council. How did that happen? A very simple explanation. It's people. It's each and every one of you that made that happen. Last Thursday, there were 22 people, 30% women, 30% ethnic from other countries, and 14 different employers represented. That's incredible diversity. Now, it happens because of people. It happens because of guys like Dave Hansen. Oh, God, I'm pointing at him. I'm sorry, Dave, didn't mean to do that. I gave him a glass of the Kool-Aid. He drank it, and he came in. He was originally our social media content. But now what he is the video recorder as well as many other things. Tim Amert, the guy that follows up on all these inquiries for new people. It's a thankless job. It has a certain amount of failures in it, but he keeps chugging along. And new people are the foundation of this thing. You don't need more people like me. You need more people like Chad and other people like me. Otherwise, the groups get inbred. The Avery sisters. Oh, my God. They come from Southern California, a place where things are irrelevant. Christy gives us the unsanctioned manual that breathed fresh life into the manual process. Neen Chow decides to become president. And he does an extraordinary job. And he winds up leading us down the new way, the pathways. And then everybody else who supports this thing. Don't want to get too close, might do something that's unexpected. But that's the way the future is. Now, the next part of the people's things are what we call the icebreakers. The icebreakers are that certain something that nobody expects, where we learn for the first time what people are about. Julia spoke, I got your attention. It's kind of like, spoke for the first time last Thursday, and she talked about, I may be paraphrasing this, but discovering humanity. I was sitting there, and all of a sudden the room gets quiet. We have this image of this dog, which wasn't the same dog anyway, but we know this is a serious thing. I remember Jalal's first speech, his icebreaker. I was not looking forward to that because I've heard a lot of bad ones. Jalal is not a native English speaker, but he did an incredible job up here. And more importantly, I learned about what he's about. Now he's a U.S. citizen. That's terrific. I sat back there when Danny Garcia talked about leaving Mexico and the vision of bodies in the streets and gunfire in the background is not something that I was normally accustomed to. But these are the icebreaker things that are part of the people. When we come to Toastmasters, we expect to become better speakers. We expect to become better communicators. expect to become better evaluators. We have to become better listeners if we're going to be evaluators. We've got to become more confident and communicators. But something else happens, and it's a goofy little thing, and it sneaks in. And at some point in time, there's a confidence that's inside. And I can only describe it as a confidence in what you know. Whatever it is, it's a confidence about that. Now, one of the most personal stories many of you in the room never heard, and that was Chang Wang. And I was reluctant to bring back names out of the past because they're just names out of the past. But Chang was an early Toastmaster from Rochester and lived in Taiwan. Struggled with English and struggled being comfortable speaking. And he got up here one day, and he was about a minute or 2 minutes into his speech, and he couldn't go on. He had to go sit down. And I can't tell you how I felt that day for him. I felt like the world had just come crashing down, and I was privileged or privy to it or whatever, I was watching it. And I felt terrible. And after the prepared speeches were done, Chang raised his hand. Can I try it again? Not tomorrow, the next day, now. He got up here and did the speech. Wow. I have no idea what he talked about. But I saw the triumph of the Spirit that you rarely see. Most people don't have the courage to do that. I'll remember that forever. Now, when we summarize, when we talk about this, what makes this Toastmaster puzzle different? It's each and every one of these people. They add the juice, they add the vitality, they add the diversity. Diversity is an overused word. Not in this room, it isn't. This is a neat thing. And I encourage each and every one of you to embrace it, to nurture it. Make it successful, because it's you people that make it work. This is one of these things where the sum of the parts is exceeded by the total. Mr. Toastmaster.